Hello everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. So today we'll ask Anand what's happening in France, what has led to it, why is it such a problem for France, or it's not a problem for France, and what does it mean to all of us and the wider economy, and is it a sign of things to come in Europe? Second largest economy in Europe, France.
France is going through an existential crisis. What has happened is, ever since the days of François Mitterrand, France has been moving more and more to the left, both economically and socially. The number of working hours has been reduced to 40 hours a week.
I think 35 now.
Now it's 35. So 35 hours a week. Now, if you work 6 days a week, 8 hours, it's 48 hours. That's what is a normal working time. Now you have brought it down to 35 hours. The employment rules are very strict. You cannot employ somebody permanent. There are several huge costs associated with employing somebody permanent. So most of them are non-permanent workers. It's impossible to start and run a new business in France. You won't know of any great French startup in the recent times. At least England was known for its financial capital, ARM Holdings, some company. France, there is nothing because labor had become too powerful. The same in Germany till they pushed back the labor and allowed the country to grow. This started during Helmut Kohl's time. But at that time, France was under the grip of the socialists. And at the same time, they kept on increasing taxes on the rich. At one time, they put on the super rich 75% tax. So most of the super rich left France and were sitting outside France. And there's only so much you can tax the rich as you keep on increasing taxes.
True.
And the rest of the society was basically living free. 35 hours is a joke. And then you had free social care, social security, and all that. And some French migration was allowed. People from Africa, where French had. Normally, migration happens from where you have a colony.
True.
If from India, if you want to see people who have migrated to France, mainly it will be from their erstwhile colonies.
True.
If a guy ask a guy from Tamil Nadu, he will not go to France. He would prefer England or US. Whereas a guy from Pondicherry would like to go to
France.
France. But most of their colonies were in Africa,
Yes, Northern Africa.
Northern Africa. So you had an influx of population. And they started taking, their salaries are lower, wages are lower. They started snatching the jobs. And there was also Islamic migration whenever there was a problem in Islam, because the socialists were very liberal.
True.
So this was the perfect cauldron. What happened is there was a moderate right wing party, party of Jacques Chirac, and a left wing socialist party. Over a period of time, Francis Hollande was the last socialist prime minister or president. There's Francis Hollande, and then there was Chirac, and there was one guy in between also.
Yes.
Now, Jacques Chirac was a right wing politician. There was another right wing president, and then Hollande was the left wing president. In between, what they have very liberal socialists. So they never get married. The current president has a wife old enough to be his mother. They are a very liberal society. So when you have joblessness because you have made rules like that, and you see the immigrants taking away most of these jobs, and you have a declining population. The moment you become socially liberal, the amount population begins to drop. So basically, the population dropped like the rest of Europe. So the number of French are dramatically decreasing. It was perfect foil for the right wing movement to start. Now you have a Lapon lady. Her father started this movement.
True.
And now she is there and her niece is there. They have started an extreme right wing movement. And they are continuously gaining.
Saying we should leave Europe.
You should leave Europe. No, they won't leave Europe. Basically, anti immigrant, anti black, anti minority politics. And they are gaining space.
Traction.
And they made it to the runoff last time. Macron, she ran up against Macron.
Yes.
So you have a case. The solution for this is to allow migrants to come in. You allow more jobs to be open and labor to increase. Now, if I allow more migrants, La Palme will win. If I don't allow migrants, the French economy will collapse on its own weight. Like China has overtaken, India will soon overtake it. China and Japan have gone past France, and now India's turn to go past France. Not in terms of per capita, in terms of
Economy size.
in economic size. So France might is coming down all the time. Now, in America, you work till you're 70.
Sure, there's no retirement actually.
There's no retirement. You work till you're 70. In Singapore, you work till you're 70. Since there are no workers, and you won't allow the laws to change to allow
Migrants to come in.
you are making some changes. You cannot give them new jobs,
Not fast enough.
not fast enough, because you have regulations which you have not made completely free. You won't allow migrants. So the only way he can change things, and there is very generous pension,
Extremely generous.
extremely generous pension, which the state cannot afford because there's no revenue.
True.
So what he is trying to
More
do,
people need to contribute to that, and there isn't
more
enough.
contribution has to happen for the pot to increase.
And there's not enough people with permanent jobs.
There are not enough people with permanent jobs to increase the pot, nor will you allow migration. So the only solution is to increase the working age. Life expectancy is now in the mid 80s in France, if I'm right, between 80 and 85.
Yes.
Now, and France is relatively drug free compared to US. You have to compare it to US.
True.
So people don't resort to gun violence and all that. So the life expectancy in France is continuously going up. You cannot afford to cut taxes, but you cannot afford to increase taxes. I think he has cut taxes marginally, if I'm right. I have not followed it. But if at all he has cut, it is marginal. So no new guy will start a business in France.
Yes. As it is, it's all the rules and regulations makes it very difficult
Right,
to hire.
the taxes make it tight. Number of jobs are less. More people are living longer, so you people have to be paid pension. So here something has to give somewhere. So what he is saying is, if you are working till 62, I have not read the numbers very clearly. If you are working till 62, work till 64,
It's adding 2 years.
adding 2 years, so that you will delay your pension by 2 years.
So then what's the hue and cry? Because for the rest of the world, this seems very crazy that just over this they're fighting and bringing the country to a halt.
But I am not going to get pension for 2 years. You are expecting me to work more.
Yeah, but if you're sitting from a
expecting
place
me
like
to-
India or US or Singapore, this looks like a no-brainer, but with all
See,
the
US, this is the problem of socialism.
you get set into this mindset, it's very hard to.
Everything is free. And this is exactly what Socrates warned us about the parable of the doctor and the sweetmeat. And that is the problem. In democracy, everybody wants instant gratification. Nobody wants to pay the bill.
They say, tell the government to print more money.
Yeah, but then the currency, but you are linked to euro.
Correct.
The Germans will keep on raising the rates.
That's another problem because the way the French laws are, the French companies are hiring other Europeans to come and fill in the jobs because they can't afford to put permanent French
Exactly.
guys because of the laws.
Now, all this is making Le Pen more powerful. You don't want Le Pen to win. Le Pen is a more extreme version of Donald Trump.
Yes.
Already a extreme right-wing party is in power in Italy.
So what is the future for Europe then?
And
Because more and more.
Wait, I read it somewhere. Europe in Germany will soon, or if not already, has less people than what it had in 1950 immediately after the war.
True. You read it, yes, you told me about it.
So at the end of the day, they have to up their birth rate first. It cannot be less than 1 per 2 per couple. It has to move up. Otherwise, you're going to go to the Japanese way. You don't want to do that. You cannot be a homogeneous society. You should have allowed outsiders to come in. Like the ancient humans moved from Africa to everywhere. All these visa modern things have to stop. Then you'll have a flood of Syrians, Indians, everybody sitting there and willing to work. Like what the Americans have done. Americans are very smart at that. They open the tap, they close the tap. They open the tap, they
Yes,
close
that's
the tap.
another article I read. France is also suffering because Americans want. They're okay. Their population's okay with white Europeans coming. A lot of French because of the problems of finding jobs
Yeah,
difficult.
they go there.
They're moving to. There's a France brain drain happening to Britain and
Exa-
US because getting a
Yeah.
permanent job is much easier in the US
Yes.
and Britain. Even if you don't have the welfare system of
Mm.
France, but at least you have a permanent
But
job.
no, at the end of the day, not everybody wants welfare.
Especially if you're able and you're smart.
You're able and smart. You don't want to spend your time sitting and lolling around.
And you don't want to give a huge portion of your salary to the state. You
Yeah.
rather invest it yourself. And
Yes. So this is the problem of France is a chicken or egg situation. You don't know. It's like asking which comes first, the chicken or the egg.
so with all this happening, and Europe seems to be this is the second largest economy in Europe, and this
Now
is
this is the problem in lesser level in Germany, but big level in France and Britain. This is exactly Britain's problem also. So when people ask me, Indians thinking because they are multiplying it by 100, I said your problems will also multiply by 100.
very true.
So if given a choice, maybe 40 years back I would have thought about settling in England. But today it's a no-brainer that I won't go anywhere near Europe.
True.
Not for me, but for my next generations.
Our nephews and nieces. Yeah. We won't advise them.
My nephews and nieces, there's absolutely no
Value add going.
value add or no future in Europe.
True.
Except you want to see the museums and history, it's great. I'll
Then
see
you can
them
go as a tourist.
as a tourist. But
Yeah.
other than that, there is no great. The world
Value
is
add being-
value add. The world is going to move to the east of Asia and the United States. Thank you for watching Be Rich. I hope you like this content. If you like this content, hit the like button of the video, press the bell notification, and subscribe to our channel. Kindly send this video to your friends and relatives and have them take a look. Once again, I thank you for your support for Be Rich. By now, everyone knows that the next location for our event is Singapore. I had not given great clarity on the date, time, and the place where the event would take place. We have now finalized everything about the event. The event is taking place at 4 p.m. on the 29th of April, Saturday, at Holiday Inn. There are several Holiday Inns in Singapore. Which Holiday Inn? We are meeting at Holiday Inn Singapore, Atrium, ANIHG. It's hotel and it is at 317 Outram Road, Singapore 169075. Once again, I tell you, Holiday Inn Atrium. And my team will be pleased to help you. We have given a WhatsApp number below and we have given you an email ID. If you contact us, my team would help you. Thank you for watching. Be Rich. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.